everybody? Welcome to the Winging It podcast. Jack, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Just living in this new moment. this new moment, man.
Oh boy, this is gonna the hilarity that's been happening since Thursday. Vicky, how are you?
I am good. Can't complain. What's going on?
And VG, welcome back, sir.
What's going on, everybody? It's the VG Mobster here. We got Switch 2. Let's go.
Yeah.
So, as you can see by the title of this week's episode, we are talking about this reveal that happened. And, it wouldn't be right if I just didn't show the doggone thing.
Copyright strike.
I applaud you, sir. You genuinely waited until today.
I know. That's what I was going to say. I give you credit, man.
Yeah.
What?
He stayed quiet.
Yeah, I do. I just picking people at this point. At this point, I'm just grabbing popcorn and picking at people. So that's what we at here. So let's go and check this whole trailer out. Okay, giving points off. That's not OLED.
Yeah.
That's how we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Are we doing live commentary, or are we just letting them see that though? Yeah, like
is that USB C4, like the 4.0 version?
I like the OLED. I like the OLED stand better. Not
there
lying.
You go.
Not gonna lie.
Yep, OLEDs.
Not gonna lie. We're being real here.
Okay, I needed a new tablet.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, yes, because my hands, I need that. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm about to say you made it very well known that this is a big plus.
Yeah, that's
big
a big
hands.
plus.
Yeah, like shout out for the big hand players out there.
But that's also a big plus too, with the SL and SR buttons being bigger. Because me and the kids were playing Mario Party Jamboree today, and if you don't have that attachment, might as well forget it.
You get carpal tunnel, yeah, got it.
Hey, Drift.
I wonder why they're looking like mice.
Hell and everything.
Interesting.
Oh, they're gonna break the inside of it.
This is just Switch 1 with the little colorway. That's it. It's the same thing.
This is the OLED.
Switch 2U?
Look at that 20 frames a second.
Mario Kart 8.
We're going to judge the trailer on a compressed YouTube video. Let's go.
That's what we're going to do. All right.
Oh.
Can y'all tell the 2K graphics?
I know everybody keeps saying a clap. This always just sounds like a slap to me. I'm going with
yeah,
slap.
it does. It does look like a slap.
I need to have somebody get slapped every time they put in controllers on this.
Backwards compatibility. Messing with all the haters out there.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Wait a minute. I didn't like backwards compatibility.
No. We don't like that. We don't like that.
We only like new games.
No, I only have 600 Switch games. So I will never play them again.
Okay, so that was the trailer for the the successor, the Switch 2.
Officially, we don't have to call it the successor anymore. We now just Switch 2.
Yeah.
Now we're Switch 2 now. So aside from the 20 frames a second Mario Kart 6 that we were just shown, and all its glorious 1K.
He's so stupid. So stupid.
I had to, man. Come on, man. I had to. But okay. For me, I'm just glad they got bigger Joy-Cons too.
Yeah.
That's a huge plus. I mean, anybody like me, basketball players or anything, like if you have any sort of like bigger, even slightly bigger hands, the Joy-Cons just don't work for you.
No.
Like the only game it really does work for me on is fitness boxing. And that's because they're just sitting in my hand. That's it.
Yeah, and you're like curly, like you're in a fist, so you're kind of like curling your fist.
It kind of makes me wonder, like, even though they're not like crazy bigger, I wonder if that would affect like those type of games, because I know you are an advocate for that, along with when we talk about I know Ring Fit Adventure wouldn't work with these, but if they were to do a 2, how big the accessory would have to be.
Well, the thing about Ring Fit Adventure is, since you're not holding it, you're putting it one on your leg and one in the ring. You should be fine. But like as far, and the reason why that's not going to fit is because that thing, the Ring Fit thing, they have to sell another ring because it basically just fits that.
Yeah,
So,
the ring, the accessory is not going to work. Yeah.
No.
So I think, and that's the other thing, 'cause I did see where it says backward compatibility for some game. I think that means probably more on the third party side of things.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ring Fit is going to work. It's just going to be like you're going to need your old Joy-Cons. You're not going to be able to use these.
Well,
you're going to need your old.
Or you can
play,
you can get the other one.
Yeah.
I was going to say to play devil's advocate, it probably just means you have to have the old equipment, and if you don't, then it won't work properly.
Yeah,
basically. And this is how you cover all bases, because I'm not going to sit here and nitpick and give you like, example after example.
That's one of my cons of Switch too. I can't play Labo VR. I'm not buying it now. That's it. I'm out. Goodbye. Pre-order canceled. Let's go.
Yeah, So I did like that they showed Mario Kart. I'm not even gonna say what number it is because people losing their minds.
It could be like it could also be like, you know how it's like Smash Brothers, like, you know what I mean? Like it could be like infinite or something like that. It might not be a number per se.
We're gonna call it Mario Kart 46. We're gonna flip.
I feel like we've gone like 4 Mario Kart games and like between the deluxe span.
Mario Kart to piss off the F-Zero fans. Mario Kart GX.
Ooh.
Don't do that.
On a wound right there.
Do that, sir.
The way petty Nintendo, as petty as Nintendo is being.
Ouch.
But you notice how we all had the same reaction.
Yeah, I wouldn't even allow. I'm like, come on, Mario.
Bro, dude, I can show enough see Furukawa being like, yeah, make that a name of it. Now say something else I don't like. Now say something else I don't like.
F-Zero fans, oh my god, I can't imagine Twitter. Like I couldn't even imagine it.
It would be hilariously
I would have to mute that word.
Yeah,
exactly.
They would be justified. I'm like, no, I can't even defend you on this one.
Yeah, y'all don't like Mario Kart GX?
No, nope. Solely because of what it ties to or what it could be tied to. No. No, sir.
Nah, then the worst thing is they call it that and then throw Captain Falcon in there as a playable character.
You know they would. They would.
That's
the trailer's gonna show like the F-Zero like track on it.
They already did it. They already did it with Mario Kart 8. So it's not like it's a foreign concept.
No, but I'm saying like in the trailer, just to make it even worse. Like they're gonna reveal the name and the F-Zero track like in the trailer.
Oh yeah. Since they threw Mute City in the first one,
exactly.
Blue in the next one.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be funny if they did like remember that the Rosalina reveal from the Wii U Smash where everybody thought Kirby was in Mario Kart. That would be so funny if that would be the trailer. The trailer for Mario Kart and it's not F-Zero, it's Mario Kart.
But you know what would be the problem is they'd have it look like F-Zero playing on Big Blue, but then you fall into the water and actually be able to drive.
Yeah,
and you know it's Mario Kart.
You know what it is. Yeah. So
that's crazy.
Like for me, okay, so I do like the design. I do like what it looks like. I like that it's a little bit bigger. That's not an issue with me. I still think it's going to be smaller than like some of those PC ones. Because
it's definitely smaller than Steam Deck for sure.
I just saw that Lenovo one at CES. That thing is enormous. Like you can't
11 inches.
That thing can be moved. It's a laptop screen. That's what it is. It's a laptop.
That's wild.
Yeah. So I'm like, where are you taking this to? That's not in the computer bag. You're like,
that's the thing. It erases portability. It erases portability 100%. I'm not taking that nowhere. One, how big it is. Two, I might get robbed. And then three, like it just looks like it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Hey, cuz you got that Lenovo. Let me get that up.
Run that up real quick.
All right. Hey, cuz, run that. You better run that. Run
that.
Right.
Run all 11 inches. Like, first of all, what are you talking about, sir? Balls. Know what you talking about? I'm confident, but ain't that day I'm confident.
Do any of you guys have this Steam Deck or not?
I do.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I have the OLED version, and like to me, that's like as far as I'll go, like in
Yeah,
terms
far
of
as-
size. Like I can't go bigger than that. I mean,
Yeah.
like that's like really the extent. So having Switch be like a little smaller than that, and also obviously much skinnier and stuff,
Yeah.
it's gonna be way better, like to
Yeah.
hold. So
and that's the other thing. Like I do like that. Like I said, them actually making it a little bit bigger, but not ridiculous.
Mhm.
Because I still need the look.
It still
I
needs to
still-
be portable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I still need to be able to put like 5 more things under my TV. So
Now I
Thank
will
you for
say,
It is just small enough that you could potentially still fit it in your pocket if it's big
Yep.
enough.
yeah,
you
basically.
gotta have some Jinko jeans. Yeah, you definitely gotta have some big pockets.
Check.
But I will say, I mean, this is no fault of their
Mhm.
own, because I mean they were making this design for a reason. I'm still going to probably have to buy third party Joy-Cons that have the D-pad and have like
Yeah.
a different form factor to it,
Mhm.
because I always hate the right thumbstick being right under the buttons. That cramping down on my thumb, I always hated that.
Mhm. I use the right now I have the Neo Grip, the Skull
Yep.
and Co, and that's way better. Like that
Yeah, I
makes
have
it so
a-
much better for me.
I have that one and also the Satisfy grip.
Yeah,
So those
yeah,
were
yeah.
the
Those
two I
good,
went
yeah.
with. But then also I end up getting the Hori Split Pad Pro, which
Mhm.
made like, because those sticks have some type of tension to them, which is what I love. It's amazing. But all in
Bigger
all, I mean, when you're
triggers
doing
and stuff, yeah.
right, but even with me playing and then having the kids, the fact that if these old Joy-Cons are going to work, I don't have to buy no more Joy-Cons. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'll give you the 2 that I got to trade in with it, but I'm keeping my spare, so I don't have to buy nothing else. I'm good. I'm all
Yeah,
good.
I mean, I would be shocked if the old Joy-Cons didn't work for the new Mario Kart game. I would be like shocked.
Yeah, that'd be
honestly.
surprising.
I think like when I think this is going back to the Wii U style of backward compatibility where
Yeah.
everything worked. Like
Yeah.
your GameCube controllers, your Wii remote, your Ico, everything worked. I think that's what we're going back to.
Which is good. I mean, that's what I'm saying. We'll get into this later, but I feel like to me, that's like the thing I was most relieved about is that they didn't reinvent the wheel.
Right.
Like to me, that was the most important thing for me. And then like people are online and then they're saying, oh, well, this is the exact same thing. So we'll go into that later. Why to me, that was the biggest, like, I was so happy about that. Like I like when I didn't even go into the other stuff because I was like, okay, good. A lot of my stuff is just going to work with this, which is amazing.
And
you know?
This goes back to me saying, I don't know, I've said this before, that the Switch was the biggest FU that Nintendo shot to the gaming industry because the people said they didn't want that when the Wii U gave it to them.
Right.
They said they didn't want backward compatibility. They wanted new experience. They wanted what was it, Andre? Standard controls.
Yeah.
That's what the name was. Okay, so they basically did the Switch, and now they're doing exactly what they did with the Wii U. The Switch. So I'm like, were y'all lying or were y'all telling the truth? Which one was it? So, Vicky, what about you? What you think?
I mean, I'm enjoying it. Like, I'm gonna buy it. Like, it's Nintendo, so like, they could have like put like Toad on like a little pad, and I'd be like, all right, and then I buy it. So like, it doesn't.
Right.
Sure, if this is what's new, I got it. Okay.
Right.
Like, just tell me where I can pre-order, and I'm here for it. So, you know, so I don't have the issues that you guys have because I have little hands. So like, the current controllers are fine with me because I have little hands.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that it doesn't get too like bulky for me.
Yeah.
So that's like my only concern is with it being bigger because like with the Steam Deck, like it's huge and then like
It's
my
huge,
arms go numb when I'm sitting still and I'm like, and I'm like, okay, I'm done playing because I can't feel my hands anymore.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it is. It's bulky. It is
Yeah.
bulky.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but you know, whatever. I'm here for it.
But see, like that's what exactly what you said is what a lot of people like. You know, again, all the other companies are not doing it. The reason people just buy Nintendo consoles because of their IP, because of their unique games.
Yeah.
Like we can't say that anymore about Sony. We can't say that about Microsoft anymore. Like Nintendo's the only one you can say that if I want to play Mario, if I want to play Zelda, I need the new Nintendo system. I don't really have a choice.
You want to know the crazy thing I was thinking about, Jay, is that we've seen Xbox and Sony like start releasing their first party on PC to where Nintendo is kind of giving you a mouse to say, hey, your PC's over here. Like we're not coming to you. We're just gonna adapt it over here. Like
if they use that Joy-Con as a mouse, I'm going to laugh to the high. But boy, I'm going because people gonna be pissed. I'm gonna go on Twitter just to read comments and eat popcorn.
Man, I want to market those commercials. Like I'm pointing at the fact that my competition went to PC and I kind of sort of gave you one, especially if the Sims come over too. It's like, all right, we got a PC game and our Joy-Con is a mouse. Yeah, you can plug in a mouse, but do you really want to? We already got to.
Who wants to carry that around? You know what I mean? Like, that's the whole point. Like nobody wants to. Oh, let me grab my mouse. Like,
and then what makes it even better, which I'm pretty sure that they're gonna do some type of enhancement to HD Rumble. So it's like, all right, now we have a mouse function with some type of rumble into it as well. That's amazing.
And let's be
bigger
real,
triggers too. It looks like bigger triggers. So.
Yep.
I think EA and all them dudes that have lost so much money the past 2 gens are like, look, I'm not doing this no more.
They have
we putting stuff on there. We don't have a choice.
Well, especially, I mean, EA. I mean, like let's go with one of their IPs that could benefit the most from this mouse. I mean, The Sims. Like Sims on Switch with like mouse functionality. I mean, forget about it.
And if they include all the expansions on one cartridge, don't try to nickel and dime me with that $1,000+ worth of expansions.
They're still gonna give you a lot with the base, but they're still gonna have more. I mean,
they definitely are. They're not gonna give you everything. They'll give you a few of them.
Yeah,
just get your appetite wet.
A good start, a little more bulky starter. But,
it's still EA. We gonna get your money.
Yeah,
we gonna get your money.
Yeah,
one way or another. We gonna microtransaction.
No, see, bad thing is, if EA had this mentality when it came down to Wii U, they would have made a lot of money.
Oh yeah,
they would. They would have.
I wanted to ask you guys, how many of you guys had a Wii U, by the way? I still have one.
Yeah.
Mine is still sitting right here with me.
Was playing Xenoblade Chronicles X earlier today.
There we go. Well, because me, I don't know, maybe I was the only one, or maybe you guys played too, but I had the Madden on Wii U.
Day one.
And it was awesome because you had your playbook in your palm of your hands. Yeah. It was sick. I didn't have to pause or go through or do like split screen or whatever. It was right in my hands. It was awesome. Like it was a great experience. And it was sad that, like, you know, I mean, again, they didn't put like, it wasn't the best performing or whatever, but just you could see the vision. Like if they would have kept going with it and kept enhancing it, it could have been awesome on the system.
That's why Xbox 360 ended up with Smart Glass. Remember when they showed off Smart Glass, Madden was the first game they showed off with it, utilizing the playbook functionality on Smart Glass.
Well, that Madden, honestly, because the one thing I did like about that, and that goes back to the TV function too, that the Wii U had before they took it down. Like that thing was so good on the ticker. You could be playing Madden while a real game is going on, and they show you the real game ticker on the. I'm like, bro, it was a better ticker than ESPN had.
Yeah, it was cool. The Wii U TV was pretty cool, actually.
That's why I was like, man, when I kept hearing people hating, I'm like, dude, are y'all even playing this system? Y'all are lying.
Like, it was Nintendo's marketing, man. They marketed that system. I mean, like marketing 101, and they still didn't even do that. It was so bad, seriously, how they marketed it.
It was that, and among a number of factors, like we already went over the whole G4 thing, where they try to pretend they didn't know what it was. And you called it a console when you talked about it as Project Cafe. But you move from Project Cafe to Wii U, and suddenly you forget it's a console.
Right.
They didn't show the console until the end of the reveal. They just showed the gamepad until like the very end. It made no sense. People were like, confused. Like,
that console was actually prominently posted. Problem is, people don't look. It was permanently posted right under their TV. But you also hear them talk like multiple times over. They'll talk about the gamepad separate of the console. So it's like
wasn't unified. It wasn't a unified experience.
Yeah, you hear them refer to the console, then they refer to the gamepad. Then they talk about how the console works with the gamepad and how the gamepad works separately of the console. I'm like,
and then they put the gamepad. Then they put the gamepad on the floor with your Wii remote, swinging as like a golf set. I'm like,
did we ever get that feature? I feel like we never got that.
Yeah,
it was in the PGA game.
Okay.
And it was on the PGA game.
But what I'm saying is, like, if you're a parent, you're like, oh, okay, it's just a tablet for Wii. Okay, let me go buy the tablet. Like, yeah, that's what he wants. Like,
it depends as a parent what you saw though, because we're kind of probably the wrong audience because I did an extremely long podcast about how this misconception got created. But we just got through talking not too long ago on my earlier podcast, and I'm thinking like to myself, like, if you're a parent, right, and you're the target audience for this, you are not terminally online, so you didn't see E3, so you don't even care about what the journalist said, right?
Yeah,
that was for them. That was for them changing the minds of people that were already tuning in, which was also kind of really bad because they shouldn't have did that. They have a Hippocratic oath, and they're not supposed to do any harm. But at the same time, I'm thinking about Target, Toys R Us, Best Buy, Walmart in fall of 2012. They have catalogs. They have Christmas catalogs because this was a Christmas item, right?
Yeah.
I have a hard time believing that any parent looked at anything in those catalogs and saw that it was anything other than a console.
Right. Yeah.
Now, if you talk about the commercials that were on, they were really bad with dubstep. That was really horrible for like the first
they were
6 months or so.
Yeah, they were horrible.
I say first 2 years.
Yeah.
I feel like and Shadow, what I'm saying is the parents honestly wouldn't even be looking in the catalogs because the kids probably didn't even want it at that point.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't even get to that point. That was the problem. Like, it didn't even get to that point. They didn't know what it was. Like, the kids couldn't get excited about it.
I would say it's a multitude of things, right? Because kids want to play Halo and Call of Duty because what? Adults are playing Halo and Call of Duty.
Yeah.
It's a game that's not for them, right? So anybody that's terminally online as an adult that's watching E3 and talking about this or whatever, all the scuttlebutt that adults and older teenagers would talk about, the little kids hear it too, and they want to fit in. So the first thing they hear is, well, my big brother told me that console isn't cool, so they don't want it either. Which is more of a social dynamic than it is.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, but at the same point in time, as a marketing team for Nintendo, it is still your fault.
Yeah.
You should have known that. You know what I mean? Like, it was just fumble, like you said, multitude of this shit. But you know what? We're not talking about the Wii U tonight. We're talking about the Switch 2 tonight.
I mean, we kind of are though, because people are acknowledging that Wii U started the 8th generation now, so that's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so they were calling it 7th gen for so long now, but to call Switch 2 9th gen, they'll call Wii U 8th gen and say that Switch was the same generation, and not
which is funny. Which is
it's funny seeing that happen in real time. It's just
so. Let me ask y'all this because I got I saw a funny thing online, and I need to stop doing this. But there's a guy. I love his artwork. He does like his own little Zelda videos or whatever. He'll throw it in on Unreal Engine 5 and he'll like toy with it a little bit. He's Arwan Link. He does a very good job. So he posted up one of his vids and it looked ultra realistic. And people, there's somebody that was saying, "This is what." Can you see the vision of what Zelda could look like? And I'm sitting there like, I'm sitting there, I'm like, you don't know Zelda, do you? Like, you really don't know Zelda. Because my thing is this: the people that are clamoring for realism like that,
they would hate it.
When they play it. The first thing gonna come out their mouth is something missing. This don't feel like Zelda.
Yeah.
You want to know why it don't feel like Zelda? Because Zelda has an art style.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's a fantasy world. It doesn't need realism. And so, my question to the panel is: which one is the bigger problem, ultra realism or art style? Because depending on who you talk to, there's some people who say art style is the problem because I don't want to see. I want my games to be real. I want to feel like I'm there. I'm like,
then why do you want to play a game in the first place?
Play a game anyway. But that's what they say. So my question is, which one is the problem? To me, I think it's ultra realism, just because when you do ultra realism, that's what spikes up the cost. Because now you
and the time and the dev time, as well.
Because you're taking pictures, you're doing mocap, you're doing all this other stuff, and that's money you got to pay. Ask Sony about $400 million, and there's that. So that's my. So Andre, you want to start?
I mean, I was going to say the same thing. Ultra realism is going to bounce up that price immediately for everything that they spend it on. Which people complaining about games are being too expensive now, but you want them to look like you're playing in real life. Again, it's about escapism. Why do you want to be in real life when you're trying to escape it for a moment? That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
I mean, it works for certain games, but that's depending on the feel they're going for. But not everything needs to have that feel. And again, too much money gets put into the development, and then when you get hit on the back end with the cost, y'all complain. Or I could wait for it to go down in price. Okay, so you wait for it to go down in price, which means it sells at that lower price. Hey, they may get those high numbers of sales like Horizon, but that means that they didn't make that much money, which means they didn't have to move it over to another platform. And y'all keep saying you want your games to be on your console, but you're not buying them at full price, which would help the dev team and get them more opportunities to put more stuff out for you.
Right.
So all of it ties itself into each other. But yeah, ultra realism is definitely the worst problem than art style. You can have realistic looking art styles.
Yeah.
Versus having to put money into technology to make everything look real.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Vicky, what about you? What you think?
I think both of them have a purpose. I think certain games I want realism, and certain games I want the art style. Obviously Zelda is not one of them for realism. What are we smoking? But if I'm playing a racing game, then I want my realism. So each one has its purpose. It doesn't need to be in every single one. I think we just need to work together and recognize that you don't need it on everything. It doesn't need to be realistic. It doesn't need to be art style for everything. Like, it just needs to be, for this genre over here, realism. For this one, and have fun with it. Just enjoy it. And if it's out of your price range, don't, talk down on others just because they can buy it. Okay, let people spend their money where they want to spend their money.
Yeah. And I will say, like, the racing game stuff like that, I can see that being the racing game in sports. I can see that, because especially simulation stuff, like Madden is basically simulation. I just wish 2K would come back. But
I think we all do.
But like, I can understand the realism there. Horizon has made me, Forza and Horizon have made me love the fact that they do realism, because of the simple fact that I love crashing cars I can't afford. It's so beautiful. I get to crash a car I know I ain't gonna have to pay for. I know I don't have to pay for this. I'm going 300 miles an hour just to ram it into a wall. So, but that's me.
Let's unpack that. Hold on, no. Let's unpack why you want to slam the car into the wall. Let's talk about it. Okay.
Therapy session.
Really good game.
I was about to
Burnout. Really good game.
Well, number one, I ain't got to pay car insurance on that, so I'm good. I'm like, I've always wanted to drive a McLaren, and I've always wanted to rent one, so I can do both and not have to feel bad about myself.
Don't give the companies an idea, man. They'll be like, "Hey, you got to pay digital insurance on the next one."
EA already attempted that.
They already attempted it. Yeah, that was wild.
Gran Turismo 8.
Digital car insurance. All right, man.
Are you in good hands?
No, obviously not.
I'm mayhem. That's it.
This is why we need another Burnout, but Burnout with realistic physics.
I can't wait for Mario Kart to go realism.
Oh god!
Oh jeez!
Please don't.
Please don't.
Y'all don't want to see a real bullet bill come after you?
No,
I'd rather not, please.
I really.
I'm good.
And I don't need to see all of the pores on Mario and Luigi's faces.
It would be so creepy. Like, I would be scared. Like, oh no, I can't play this game.
Super uncanny valley. We don't need that at all.
I will say this though. I would like to see like a blue shell just come out of a fire and be like, "You will not escape me." Just like, oh, hey.
That's funny. But see, we got that with the Mario movies with no realism. It worked.
The next Mario Kart needs to have a Peaches track so we can just hear Peaches on repeat.
Can you imagine if they allow you to do that? That'd be wild.
Jack Black would be killing it.
Custom tracks.
All right, BG, what you think, man?
Well, yeah, I agree with what you guys were saying before. I feel it depends on the game, and what their target audience is, what their feel and scope they're trying to go for. But in general, if I had to pick, like in general, not a game by game basis, I would definitely go art style, because I feel too like the games that have the most, creative and innovative art styles, obviously like over time, I feel they age better as well. I feel like the games that go for ultra realism, like 20 years down the road, they don't look ultra realistic anymore. So I feel like going with the stylized art style, like a game like Beautiful Joe or Okami or something like that, like those games, you can play them today and they look just as good, if not better, than they were before.
You make a good point, because Wind Waker on even the one on GameCube, not even the HD one, still looks good.
Oh yeah, and you look at Twilight Princess, and that was like, if you want to call it realistic Zelda, that was probably like the closest we got to.
Yeah,
definitely was.
And I would say Wind Waker looks better to me personally.
It looks way better.
Wind Waker looks better, and Skyward Sword, which came out afterwards, still would look better just because of the more whimsical feel of the art style.
Yeah, like the painting. And I mean, and that's the other thing too. I feel like that's kind of like, to me, it makes the game more memorable, because that art style, especially Nintendo, they do it so well. They just find these unique art styles that just make the game, like, you see a screenshot of the Breath of the Wild, it's Breath of the Wild. You're not going to confuse that with like any other game, really.
Right.
Like we said, Wind Waker, like you see that, it's Wind Waker. There's no competition. There's no other game that looks like it. So I feel like that kicks the makes it go and scale and age better and more gracefully. So I would definitely go with art style for sure.
Yeah, because that reminds me, because the Xenoblade Chronicles series, like, because they did the way they did it, way Monolith did it with the cell shade over the top of CG, it actually kind of works. Jack.
Well, you already know where I'm going, but I will agree with VG and Vicky to where it should be a case by case thing. But at the same time, it shouldn't be sought after for every single game. Because even if you look at Last of Us, right? You think of that as in, okay, realism, you like the details because it's like a movie style type game. But at the same time, we get something like The Walking Dead made by Telltale, and you have Clementine in that type of art style, and it still works. So I think when you choose art style, that can still convey realism versus the other way around. Like, realism cannot, copy that type of art style in any kind of way. And it allows for you to really have more range when you try to actually pull off certain things in your game. And that's when we get into creativity. Like, yes, when we talk about Forza, you see those real cars and they doing all the flips and tricks and things of that nature. Amazing. But then I go right to Burnout, to where Burnout looks better in that art style to pull off some of the same things that Forza tries to pull off. So I always go on the side of art style, because realism from both the developer, time frame, cost, and then the longevity as far as how long it can actually stand up really leads more into art style, because we've seen cell shaded graphics last the test of time with, whether it was 13, Wind Waker, or any of the games that did cell shaded graphics, they're still looking great.
Okami.
Okami. Yeah. I mean, you don't really have to touch them. So yeah, I mean, realism has too many negatives for me to ever say that's what I want.
And then I feel too, I just want to add one other thing that I didn't mention before. I feel like too, when you have a realistic game, I feel like in the player's mind, like there's automatically like, okay, maybe I have more in their minds. There's more like realistic parameters in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like the mechanics, if they're too out there, like if they're too wild, people will be like, well, it doesn't really match like the look of the game. You know what I mean? So I feel like you're also kind of like pigeonholing maybe game mechanics, and
that's what I was saying with the creativity. Yeah, because I mean, you really limiting yourself to where when we look at, for example, I always have this conversation with my oldest son with 2K. Let's say he watches highlights with Steph. If he doesn't go and replicate that same thing in 2K, he thinks the game is broken because Steph made that shot. But then if I go and I have him put on NBA Showtime, he was like, "Oh, I'm dunking from the 3-point line and it's okay because it doesn't matter anymore because it's this over the top arcadey style that he's like, he shouldn't be able to pull that off. But because of how this game presents itself, I'm okay with what it's pulling off, opposed to a simulation to where I just saw Steph drop 30. Why is my player only making 1 3-pointer, even though I'm shooting it from half court? Like he ties it too much to realism.
Yeah,
because of the art style.
Agree.
Gotcha. All right, Shadow.
Well, not to rain on the parade of popular opinion yet again, but I feel like realistic art style is just a concession that the artists couldn't do what they needed to do in engine. If you need to spend millions of dollars for somebody to go take a photograph so it can be a texture, that just means you can't replicate it in your engine with realistic shadows and realistic textures on time. Right. They can't be lit on time because you don't have enough bumps on your models, and you had to reduce them because the engine won't do it. That's pretty much how I feel about it. So you're effectively pre-rendering what should be there natively anyway.
Luminous engine. Gotcha.
Yeah. Bump mapping, any other kind of stuff.
Square ain't never gonna lay that down.
Back in the day, that's what all that is just admitting that you couldn't do it in real time. Same thing with, I don't know why it's called real-time ray tracing, but it is. But it's piecemeal. You only get bits and pieces of it. You either get reflections, or you get shadows, or you get some specular highlights. You get some bumps. You never get the whole thing. Full rays are not cast across the scene. So realism will not be there because realism requires a server room worth of precision SIMD instructions, and they don't exist in any game console that ever existed. Maybe if you render a 480p game today with Series X, you might be able to do it. 480p on Series X, maybe, but no, you're not doing that with the exponential increase of resolution, the exponential, and of course that means exponential increase in textures now too, because now you need 4096 by 4096. Yeah. And
hey man, 1080p, 10 frames per second, we can do it.
You were struggling with 256 by 256 textures. So like what, but those are the things. So obviously a game like Killer 7 will last the test of time for me, right? But then I appreciate when you're able to create sci-fi type of environments that kind of give like this dreamy kind of realistic mix, which kind of works well for me, because don't try to do the whole thing, because I would notice that, hey, why is there not self-shadowing applied? Right. Things like that I'm going to see, because you tried to go for this realistic thing. So now I'm seeing the realistic things aren't sought all the way through. Also, the game doesn't play realistically. Yes, God of War looks great, but why can't I go around that wall?
Why can't I jump?
Why can't I jump? Those kind of things, like Horizon Zero Dawn bothers me so much. I see things down there and I can't go there.
That bugs me. Yeah,
that bugs me a lot.
Man, Rebirth. Oh my God, the invisible walls and Rebirth.
So many invisible walls. So how if you have to restrict yourself to get that type of look, then is it really realism at that point? Because what you're doing is you're effectively faking what you're trying to do. The whole point is to create an interactive game world. If it's going to be realistic, everything will react realistically. If there's an object on the ground, you should be able to interact with it. The physics should apply. All that kind of stuff should happen, right? The lighting, all that stuff should work. But that isn't what really happens. So it's kind of funny when I hear these conversations back and forth. I don't. It doesn't follow to me a lot of the times when I hear people call the buzzwords and say, "Well, that looks great and that looks great." I'm like, "It doesn't." Like, so, but no, obviously artistic will beat that, because you're really just, hey, this is my version of a cartoon. This is how I want it to be. This is how the physics is going to be. This is how the animation is going to be. And you can weave expression into that far better than a photorealistic figure of a person that, for whatever reason, can't emote. So the blank stared individual that looks photorealistic that's really troubling. It's kind of scary, uncanny kind of feeling. So
they should make a horror game based around that.
I think there is an indie horror game. I think there is an indie horror game that does do that. I might be wrong.
With the dead face looking, you just
yeah. All right, Sandstone, what about you, man?
So I'm assuming this is realism versus
art style.
Mm-hmm. Art style. So I'll say this first about realism, because I know everybody has their opinions about realism. Now, normally I would say art style, and actually realistically, I'm probably still going to say art style, but I've been thinking as of lately, realism has moved for a better case for itself of why it's a little more justified these days, and that is solely off of law of diminishing return, because we have gotten to that point where realistically anything beyond this point, I mean, we always talk about photorealism, but we're using photography to get our level of realism in the first place. I honestly don't think that it's going to be a while. It's going to be a while before we get any kind of leap or jump, if you will, to whatever the next graphical fidelity, if you will, is going to be. I think for a while we are going to work on how can we get these numbers down as far as space and how much space we use. And, this is like the whole reason why DLSS and all this other stuff exists in the first place, right? To come up with these equations of how we can make our resources actually benefit us instead of costing us more money out the woodwork. So I say in that light, I say realism as far as longevity may actually have a lot more time than it has in the past, just because we've been hitting those bounds as far as realism. But with that being said, I still think art style is still very much over that. Art style is not forever, but it is a very long time. When you're talking about cell shading, when you're even talking about I just played Muramasa Blade the other day, and I'm like, man,
good game.
If they could just like gloss this, give it a nice little 1080p, shine over it, you set. You don't have to do nothing. You don't have to change nothing. You set. But even still, I'm like, this game is still crispy,
Vanilla was in their bag in the 6 and 17.
That art style is beautiful. Same with Okami. Like I
said that before.
The HD version, and it still looks pretty. Like that's
beautiful.
Painted and hand drawn stuff. Those are things I think that you just can't beat.
Yeah.
It's
timeless.
Yeah, it's more than just numbers. It's more than just a bunch of code put together to equate into a visual perspective. It's like actually time spent, you know what I mean? And love and care. So yeah, I'm gonna go. I gave a little shout out to realism in respect of the now, but art style still.
Well, the other reason why I bring that up is because sometimes it actually does feel like, to be fair, Nintendo's the only people that care about having a variety of different art styles. I look at something like Splatoon, right? Splatoon, in all honesty, ain't supposed to work. It's not.
It really isn't.
It's not supposed to work. You're supposed to look at that game and be like, man, what in the childishness is this? But the thing is, you play it. You play one round. You play one match. I mean, that was fun.
Yeah,
play another.
So
match.
addicting.
It is.
Hey man, we just ran out. I just ran out 4 in a row. Then we run that one team that for some reason just got your number. And then like, I'm not leaving till I will.
So you get that run back.
It's funny too, because I think on the in the Nintendo Treehouse, literally they have like 5 boards, right? Like 5 boards just sitting up there, and they're like, okay, which one of our developers are we going to use next for this game?
Yeah.
And then somebody throws the thing, and it's like, okay, so we're going to use them. All right, which art style are we going to use? And for whatever reason, realism is probably in like that small little circle bottom corner, and nobody ever manages to hit it. Like they are the most either the most luckiest or unluckiest people, and they're like, you were close on the line, but it's a little more closer towards self. You going with self shading? No realism this time. Like, okay, because I can't even tell you the last game that like. I can't even think of a game that besides like Eternal Darkness, really, or like Wave Race.
I was gonna say Wave Race
or 1080p.
Actually, it was Metroid Prime. Like Metroid Prime has a look to it,
but that definitely has art style too.
Yeah, it has an art style when it comes to like the environment and like when you look at like Samus and the
Samus or stuff,
they try to go like that sci-fi realism, but it's kind of. But what they do is, which I like, what they do is they throw a little cell shade over the top of those.
That's what I mean. Like there's always a little bit of something. Like hold on now, if you're gonna put real face, put a black line around them too.
So I noticed that. But like with Metroid Dread, that was full on. That was just art. That wasn't nothing. That was straight up art. But like the Prime series, they play with it. I'll put it like that. They play with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
RJ is right. Like Unicorn Overlord. Unicorn Overlord, man. That game is beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Jeez, that game.
Yeah, Unicorn Overlord. I mean, you think about Cuphead. The fact that they took the time to draw that stuff out, that's
crazy.
That's never going to look bad.
That's one of the most beautiful art styles I've ever seen.
That's never going to look bad.
No.
Virginia was off the chain in that game.
You can literally run Cuphead on like your phone, like an old phone, not like a BlackBerry. Probably you could probably run on a BlackBerry. That's
a beautiful thing.
You know what I mean? Like it's you could run on like the most basic like computers. It's crazy.
Hey,
but it looks beautiful.
Shadow, you got a question?
Do I now?
Yep.
Yes, you do, sir. They putting you to work. Last 3 minutes.
I ask you this question.
That's why I gave up on answering my question.
During the last stream, unfortunately, I'm working. But what version of DLSS do you think Switch will use? Custom. So think
for sure.
Think different bits of 3 and 4.
Like a hybrid, right? Like a hybrid between the two.
Yeah.
Like that.
They have their own tensor cores, and they're gonna have custom instructions on it specifically for it, and it won't matter because it's going to be better for what Nintendo's doing anyway. Because there's no variations. You don't have to. The majority of DLSS is making sure shader compile time is still accurate while keeping frame time accurate and all that. Whereas all the shaders are already compiled off the cartridge that you're reading. So you don't even have to worry about that at all. The only thing you have to worry about is what pixels are being pushed that frame, and that's it. So by default, even if it's DLSS 2, that's still miles beyond what any of the other consoles are doing with regard to upscaling, because other upscaling is done in software. So other than PSSR, they make their own little solution with that. But FSR on the other consoles is not going to come close to what you're going to see on Nintendo Switch 2.
Crazy. And that's the other thing too. Like a lot of stuff that Nintendo does is custom. So like people trying to figure out specs. That's why once again, I know people they respect Digital Foundry, but at the same time, please take what they say with a massive grain of salt.
I mean, that should be implied, but I mean, I
But
get
they
it.
don't.
What they say is gospel. That's it.
Yeah,
because it fuels that fire of, hey, I got to go on Twitter and argue with such and such. Because well, you said that it was going to run like a 4090. Well, Digital Foundry said otherwise.
Yeah,
like,
and I'm like, they don't even know. They don't even know because they don't have it.
But you know what's funny about Digital Foundry? Because you obviously see that people just see like the clips of the videos and they don't actually watch the full videos because they always have disclaimers after.
Oh, yeah, that's 100%. What I said. They do that every time.
We're not, I know they're like, hey, like we're not saying this is gonna be it, but you know, like if you were just comparing raw specs, but they delete the whole front, portion of that thing, they'll just be like, it's crazy.
But that's why I tell people, I'm like, bruh, they don't have if they did know, just let's just for just imagining. If they really did know, you think they'd be talking? That NDA would be so tight on them.
Yeah, it would.
They wouldn't be saying nothing. They'd be like, "Look, man, we can't talk about it." Like,
I'd say this.
That was
right?
all getting sued.
Yeah.
So Nintendo has a way of doing things that's a little bit different. They look at problem solving. We were talking before on my podcast earlier about how they view CPUs, right? On the GPU side of things, they do things different. So instead of just saying, "Hey, look, we're gonna throw a 4080 in there," that's not what they're doing. They're thinking, how do we render per frame? And they're like, well, how do we accelerate that? Well, you throw cache on there where you can draw the frame immediately, right? Okay, then what happens after that? Well, we have to interpolate it to make sure that everything is where it needs to be every frame, and there's no stuttering or any other type of issues where you have to recall a render pass again. So they do things like have interpolation built into the system, so you don't have to waste shaders on it. That's what they did on Wii U, and it took 4 years, I think, of people looking at Chipworks die shots for them to know that interpolation was built. It was built dedicated hardware on the GPU. So all this time we were talking about G-flops and all that, like several hundred G-flops didn't need to be used on Wii U simply because that one IC was there. So those are the type of things that Nintendo does where it's not even an apples to apples comparison anymore.
Well, especially now that it's hybrid. You know, the console's hybrid, so you have to think differently to begin with.
Even if there was another NVIDIA hybrid that existed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was a handheld PC, it's still not the same because Nintendo is getting it built in a different way for different reasons. Yeah. So if you had say it was a 4070 laptop variant or whatever, right? It's still not going to be directly comparable to what Nintendo is doing because there's going to be something in there that's going to do things that don't require all the shaders that in the regular handheld version, the regular PC version would need. So you're talking about different mileages to get different results. So just imagine it this way. What if all of a sudden you looked up and you're like, hey, this version of this game on PC needs this graphics card. And then all of a sudden somebody comes to you and says, well, I did it with an iGPU. You know, how are you able to do that with integrated graphics? Because I work with Nintendo.
It did directly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that basically that's the answer at that point. So and if you can see there's a couple of channels on YouTube. One of them is called Low End PC. You can see how they customize things and settings and stuff like that, and they get games like GTA 5 running on integrated graphics and stuff like that. And I'm like, all this stuff is way weaker than base Nintendo Switch. So obviously, if you're a dedicated developer for that platform, you can get a lot of games going anywhere. So, and if Nintendo's dedicating certain things specifically to the hardware, so the developer doesn't have to even do any work, you just, hey, I did this in the SDK, and all the translation layers does all the rest of the work. That's it. So imagine what a Nintendo coded game would be like then, because they get to cheat and go around their own SDK. The third parties don't get to do that. So
you're right.
I would just say that
GTA 8. So
yes, all the GTAs everywhere.
So I want to have a little fun. So we saw the Switch 2 trailer. So I'm gonna throw a game at one of y'all, and I want to know what you think, if it will come to this or will it not, or if it's something that you would say a day one to. So first off, Shadow, you know what I'm going to give you, right?
Uh-oh.
Sure. I already know.
Killer Instinct.
Yes.
So
I'm willing to be wrong. Yes.
So Killer Instinct, what they did on the full season thing, or do they do 4? Do they do the next number? Or 3? 3 would be technically the next number 1. But they do 3. Which one would you go through? Which, if you were Microsoft, you was in Phil Spencer's shoes, you got to make some money.
If they're going to make money, I think they would resell the anniversary version that they just did a year or so ago, and call it Killer Instinct Gold again.
Ooh. Smart.
And that would be the exclusive version for
platinum, baby. We're going diamond, baby. Then put out Killer Cuts.
Gold has the reputation that when the camera pans up, it looks like the characters are laying on the ground fighting each other.
Yeah.
What they should call is Killer Instinct Platinum, and just re-release the Killer Cut soundtrack.
There it is.
All right.
Any excuse to re-release that soundtrack.
So we talking launch or somewhere later down the line?
Launch
for that. Well, I don't know. We're talking about Microsoft.
Wait, launch day one or launch window?
Launch
window.
Oh, okay,
Window.
Launch window,
So
absolutely.
Because you need a fighter somewhere in that window.
Yeah.
It's
Launch
not
day
gonna
would
be Smash
be.
right now.
Ooh.
Well, I keep hearing Tekken 8.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I keep hearing
Yeah.
that, but nobody wants Cloud. They want Ganondorf. All right, so Vicky.
Uh-oh.
I was thinking about you because I saw that trailer for Guardians of Azuma, and I know you love those types of farm sim. I'm about to kill the whole evil side of the world games. So I was thinking like Sakura Rice and Ruin 2.
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay.
I think that would be down the line. I don't think that would be something that they would release day one or in the window. I think that would be down the
It'd
line.
be like down the line. Okay.
Yeah.
But it is something that would like depend on how they do it. Because the first one wasn't half bad.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it. It wasn't half bad.
I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Yeah, they probably need to fix up, tighten up the farming stuff because some of that farming stuff at the beginning was hard.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm all right for like grinding games and like repetitive like farming like motions, but that was too much. I was like, oh man, I can't with this.
Gotcha. Okay, Jack, you know what I'm finna get. You know where I'm going with this.
Not turning the camera off.
Wow.
Just said, "Not click." I'm out.
See, I wasn't even finna say Labo.
I know what it
I was
was.
gonna say Lambo.
I know what it is.
Actually, it's Labo. So it was Labo, but an actual VR headset.
No. One.
Do you think if they were gonna do it, they would have did it already? Is that one of those situations?
No. I think when it comes down to Nintendo, I kind of put them in a camp similar to Apple, to where they wait until something is tried and true before they even dip their toe in there. From a technology standpoint, not the popularity aspect of it. Like they can take something that you never even thought about and make it popular, but if the components are not there, if the fan base doesn't even seem interested at all, then I don't see them jumping into it. But if we're talking about like the whole like VR aspect of it, no, simply because this device is too big. The only company that's doing something like that with a device this size is Pimax, and they have like 4 cameras on the back of their device. So it's like it has like the detachable controllers, 4 cameras on the back. You put it in the face thing, and it works that way. But I don't know who in the world is funding Pimax. I don't know if they just a drug front, but they keep releasing these products and nobody's buying them. So it's like, how do they put me in the mindset of like a Arby's or a Hardee's? It's like I don't ever I see nobody with your product, but you keep releasing them. And it's like, and these are not like small products. These are like 4K. We can like have it play handheld. Also can do the face mask, like the VR thing, and it can dock. So it's like an all-encompassing thing, but nobody buys them. But they keep releasing product. I'm like, yeah, somebody fronting somebody. But
I got X, I got weed, I got anything.
I don't know who front Pimax, but they are ridiculous. Now the product looks great. It's just ain't nobody buying it. But yeah, as far as like the VR crowd for Nintendo, and just look at VR in general, they kind of run into the issue that you brought up earlier with the whole realism versus art style. The art style is winning, but majority of the crowd are pissed off that realism isn't. So it's like
that is true.
So when you look at stuff like Batman is an art style in a way. Like it doesn't try to look real. But then when you look at something like a Behemoth or Asgard Wrath or whatever, like they're trying to make it look real and play real. And let me put a disclaimer, they come out buggy as hell and then they have to get fixed. But then 2 is just, it doesn't have the means to do that, and that's not what people are looking for. The top games right now are like Gorilla Tag and Roblox and
ones, probably,
the fitness games like Supernatural is killing it. Beat Saber is still at the top. Like that's what people are looking for, and they get caught up on that. So Nintendo could usher it in. It's just you got to find a way, and this is something Nintendo doesn't like. You got to find a way to think about people that are vision impaired. You have to think about people that are motion sickness and have motion sickness, and then you also have to think about people that don't have the proper space. And that, to me, that's too many caveats to really think about. So while motion controls are cool, it's just you and your TV. With VR, sometimes it's room scale, sometimes it's standing, sometimes it's sitting, and it can differ. It can hit or miss. And really, and I know Shadow could probably speak more to this than I can, but when you talk about making sure that you have things run smooth and the proper pixels in each eye to make sure everything looks smooth and runs smooth in those type of games, and try to get the decent graphics out of it without a PC, that's a problem.
That's gonna be a problem. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That makes sense. All right, VG. So I'm thinking Platinum Studios, right?
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking Astral Chain.
Oh, as a sequel on Switch 2 mid-gen for sure.
Okay.
Book it.
Yeah. So do you do the crossover with Bayonetta, or do you hold off?
Ooh,
that's the question.
Did Camille work on that one?
Nah,
he didn't.
That was a Naga.
Okay,
I think he might have done some of the concepts.
Was he an EP on that? Was he an executive producer?
I want to say he was producer, but I think he was doing the artwork. He was doing the art.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they're going to do a crossover because I feel that Bayo 4 is still going to come.
Okay.
So, and then I think they want Astral Chain to go its own lane. Mm-hmm. So I think they'd keep Astral Chain, especially since it's only the second. Like if this was the third game, probably. Okay, maybe.
Gotcha.
But I think they're still trying to establish an IP. So I think they got to keep that separate for now, regardless of how much they teased.
Dude, they teased.
They teased
heavily. That was hilarious. That was hilarious. Yeah. But yeah, I think Bayo 4 and Astral Chain 2 are definitely coming to Switch 2. Not even close to launch. I'm thinking year
probably
4 or something.
Yeah.
Something
like
that.
One of them's gonna probably be second year, but the other one's gonna probably be like year 4 or 5. Yeah, okay. All right, I got you on that.
Something like that. Yeah, but hey, bring them on. I love both of those. Bayonetta is one of Jack knows Bayonetta is one of my favorite franchises ever.
Especially 3. I'm sorry, when Madame Butterfly was off the chain in that game.
Yeah,
she's
hey,
taking a bath.
I ain't unboxed it yet.
Oh, what 3?
Still on my backlog.
First of all, spoilers for a 2-year-old game, and we told you to play this. So
it'd be a little different if he didn't have the console. So he has the game.
Don't feel bad. I ain't played anything too much either.
Honestly, at this point, because Bayo 3 is one of those games, especially in the beginning levels when you're in Tokyo, that could benefit from like a DLSS bump because it really, that's because the thing is in that game, when you're in the indoor environments, it's butter. Like it's smooth as hell. But when you go in the bigger outdoor scapes or the ones where you're like the Godzilla, like kind of, monsters fighting each other, the frame rate just tanks. So if they can get those sections worked out to be as smooth as the indoor sections, it's a great game otherwise.
Because that's why I was like, dude, so because y'all know me with Madame Butterfly, MVP of that game. So
I think both of those for sure. I think they're both common.
All right, Sandstorm.
Yeah.
Is Elden Ring coming or not?
Oh,
is Elden Ring coming or not?
Elden Ring is absolutely coming. So I've been actually low key looking at From Software and checking out their Twitter space, and they've been going like real quiet, which is weird because they just announced the DLC.
That's my second question I was going to ask you. So since you believe Elden Ring is coming, so does Jeff Keighley use that as an excuse to put it for Game of the Year?
Oh my God! For a third time, and then he's going to be like
for third time,
just for the Switch 2 version.
Yeah. And I was just about to say that he's going to be all over the Switch part. Like, come on, guys, come on. Like expecting that we'll change our minds about it. Like, well, because it was the Switch. Guess we can't argue that one.
A new category: best remaster.
Right. But heaven
third re-release.
Heaven forbid they do us like the Wii and be like, well, this version is actually different than the PlayStation and Xbox version.
They will be stupid to do that.
I just know
they would
Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition needs to be nominated this year since we're doing releases.
You know it's not. You know it's not. I don't even know.
They don't play those games at all. They don't play them.
They don't play them.
I gotta ask Shadow one.
They play any games, honestly.
Now, Sandstorm, to add on to that, when it releases to the Switch, do you think it comes packaged with Erdtree?
Oh,
it definitely should.
It should.
Yeah, I think it should. Will it? That's another conversation.
Complete edition.
No. Actually, in all honesty, if it didn't come packed with Erdtree, then it should come packed with Lost Kingdom. So
So one of them, basically.
Lost Kingdom 1 and 2,
or both.
Both.
Yes.
Don't be disrespectful.
Wait. Can we actually call this the Game of the Year edition? Or
then it would be. Then you could put it in Game of the Year. Then you could put it in Game of the Year. That's healthy. That's healthy.
Yeah. So okay. So another one I got to ask you, Sandstorm. So let me ask this. Do you also think that the rumor that Square Enix is going to drop Final Fantasy 16, 7, and 7 Rebirth, all three of those are coming?
Does a junkie in Atlanta ask you for money at the gas station?
Man, what you
yes, they do. Yes, they do.
That is
wow. Square is hurting, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like Jack said. Yeah, they're just gonna do it. Like Nike, they better just do it.
Square need OnlyFans, homie, because I'm telling you.
You guys really think 16 for real though? You think 16?
At this point, because they didn't. All three of those did not meet sales expectations. Well,
7 and Rebirth are locks for me.
Yeah.
I didn't know about the 16. I'm like,
16 did. But the thing was,
I'll give you some reasoning.
Well, the thing was, 16 should have released because that game doesn't. From what people tell me about it, they're like, it don't feel like Final Fantasy.
It doesn't.
So
it doesn't.
They like it has like a more Western feel to it. So they were like, they didn't know why they didn't port it to Xbox earlier. They're like, they wasn't gonna make the money that it was gonna make like that. So by making it exclusive like that, so I was like, hey, I have been saying, I know me and Andre have been saying for years that Square has been acting stupid anyway. So that's why it's like the Team Asano stuff has been making money. All them HD 2D stuff that's been making a killing. But for some reason,
art style.
For some reason, it's the Final Fantasy stuff. They go bananas for like Final Fantasy 15 pissed me off, but Vicky know why. But 15 pissed me off. But I'm like, it was still okay until the back half of that game when they go completely linear after trying to pretend like it was an open world.
So
anyway,
question, Jay. So real quick question while we're on Square. Do you think, because they need the bread, that they do an exclusive and they do the HD 2D Chrono Trigger we've been looking for?
Please.
More than likely, yeah.
Right.
Because the Dragon Quest 3 so gangbusters.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think all of this HD 2D stuff is basically them like, how can we recoup money
in small increments?
Yeah, in small increments and kind of cheap.
You know, it's so funny. They remind me of college students. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you got this big old loan after you done graduated, and they like, how can I put $5 or $10 back into this so they won't come back to me?
I paid something.
Right. If you notice, like all those HD2D games only go to two places.
Yeah,
Sony and Nintendo.
Yeah.
And
Square May got it. Okay.
Yeah. I'm like Live Alive, from in each one of them, the art style has gotten better. Like Live Alive, Triangle Strategy, all of that. Like, dude, it keeps getting better and better.
Yeah, it does. It really does. Octo 2 is incredible.
Yeah, Octopath Traveler 2. Like, if you look at Octopath Traveler 1, you're like, okay, this ain't bad. You look at Live Alive, dang, it got better. You look at Triangle Strategy. Dang, how much better can this get? You look at Dragon Quest, you're like, okay, y'all get better every damn time. So
right,
yeah,
those games are not for kids either. By the way.
Oh, triangle strategy,
like immediately they are not.
Like triangle strategy is Nintendo's Square Enix's Game of Thrones. Like they off mugs in the first 10 minutes. Like you walk into the doggone courtroom and somebody gets speared in the chest. Like, bro, what the whoa, hey, ease me into this.
Welcome to court.
The red wedding, Nintendo.
Oh man.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there like, bro, okay, bro, can you like ease me into this? I'm up here clutching pearls. So so yeah, I mean, yeah, most of those games, not for the little ones.
Yeah, the Chrono Trigger 2D HD would be incredible.
That would be awesome. Yeah. But it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't know how the fan base, because it's Chrono Trigger.
Then do Gears of War. Give me Xenogears then. Be like, what's up? What's up, Monolith? What's up? I remember you. What's up? Remember we was one and the same? We was like brothers. We was like twins.
It's still partially Bandai though.
Yeah, that's still partially.
I mean, but y'all got a 3-way team. It's like Bandai already over there.
Bandai and Nintendo are way closer now too, though, so they probably can make it happen.
Project Cross Zone is a thing, so they all do have a working relationship with each other.
Yeah,
it's crazy that game only got 2 versions.
Yeah,
well,
yeah, basically.
Technically, it's 3 in the series. You got Namco Cross Capcom, then Project Cross Zone 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So Andre, does Astrobot come? And does he? And is he in Smash? And is he in Smash?
Yes.
Is he in Smash?
Yeah. It's definitely. I mean, Sony wants that money, so it's definitely going to happen. And yeah, they are going to beg to get Astrobot. They are going to beg for it, and bet you it will happen shortly after the launch window. It's not going to happen in the launch window, but shortly after it.
So you're thinking in the December 2025?
I'm thinking definitely
first quarter next year.
Definitely holiday, if not at the first quarter next year. Yeah.
Now, how do you plead? Please, oh sir, good heaven, Lord, please, oh please. Pretty good pleading.
My second question, Andre, I got one more on the side for that. So Sony gets they get their own representative. We're gonna go Astrobot. Who does Microsoft send? Do they send Banjo this time, or do they send Master Chief?
Banjo's already locked because Banjo's partially family anyway. They cousins, so they're gonna send Master Chief.
They're gonna send Master Chief this time.
Yep. I mean, look, what's it gonna hurt? We already had Snake.
Yeah, that's true.
So you know what they would do? You know, just to make everybody mad, they would send Joanna instead.
But that would work.
That would work though.
That will work.
But I'm saying
you need all the help for that game. That game can get.
Yeah, I'm saying Master Chief though because I know people want the Master Chief Samus Chief to be established, and it's going to be established in Smash.
Can I throw an alibi out there real quick?
Yeah, what's up?
Everybody should be upset at the Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within movie because
that movie was garbage.
According to the president of Monolith Soft then at the time, he said that's why Xenogears 2 couldn't happen. They had to push the project because they invested so much for the Spirits Within.
Oh yeah.
Bad choice.
Square.
Yeah, that was a really bad
choice. Square.
Square's gonna square. All right,
they've been making bad choices for.
Well, the other reason why I think Master Chief would be a good one, but I also think Doomslayer's coming is because of that whole Isabel Doomslayer thing. I think that's gonna happen simply because both Bethesda and Nintendo liked that idea.
Yeah,
both of them did. So I'm sitting there like,
and you don't have to count Doom Guy as a Microsoft representative. You count him as Bethesda. That's your worker, right?
Oh, a 2-for-1 deal. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think that's how that happens because I think they're gonna do it just because like they loved all the artwork. They saw all that stuff. I'm sitting there like, there ain't no way in the world that's not gonna make it in the next Smash Bros. There ain't no way.
Because that's easy advertising.
That's easy advertisement.
Well, Jay, how do you feel Smash is going to release on Switch too?
Yeah, I think what's going to happen. This is what I honestly think is going to happen.
Okay.
It's not going to be an ultimate situation. We're not getting 80 characters this time. What's going to happen is we're going to go back to probably the 30 characters situation with probably 2 fight packs.
Yep.
The 2 fight packs is probably going to be where you have the third party and the obscure characters. That's where you're going to have the third party obscure characters. I think what's going to happen with the Sony and Microsoft representative, that's going to be in the base 30. Yeah. But the 2 fighter packs, because they're going to do fighter packs. Look, DLC is a part of life, people. We just got to get used to it.
Yeah.
So,
well, especially in Smash. I mean, come on.
Yeah. As long as they're in packs and not, I don't want to horse armor my Smash Brothers.
Yeah. So I think that's where you're going to get you're going to get your couple of obscure characters. You're going to get your piranha plants. You're going to get your, crazy characters. And then you're going to have like the characters that people claim they don't want, but won't. Like, I'm tired of this anime sword characters. Where's Dante?
Right.
You're going to get those. So
they were saying that they finally got Sora.
Yeah.
Right.
Now I know Jay's answer to this, so this ain't even a question for you. What do you think is a necessary addition or change for Smash going into this new generation, seeing as they pretty much just gave us this big blowout? And I know a subspace emissary for you, Jay. That's why I'm not asking you a question.
Yes.
So
that's me. I mean, where's the lie? So
I have a
Smash tour.
I have an idea.
Don't make me cuss on my show, man. Don't make me cuss on my show.
I have an idea for that would work, that would be worthwhile, but I don't think it would happen. And that would be to do a story mode that's sort of like
Mortal Kombat.
No.
No.
No,
10 was cool. Like you had to play as each character, which was pretty cool. I like.
No. But I wouldn't want it to be too much in that direction where the story doesn't make sense.
Okay.
So sort of like Time Splitters, where the stories build upon each other. So you play as different characters, and they each have a different part of the story, and then the stories collide together and build into a bigger narrative.
Okay.
That way, when you add in DLC characters, you can add their story in between the different parts to build a full complete narrative for someone to play through.
So with this, are we keeping the same fight style, like the whole battle royale type thing?
Yeah,
familiarity, but with tweaks.
Yeah,
because it has to still feel like Smash. It can't not feel like Smash. Because if it don't feel like Smash, people gonna be pissed off. I want to throw people off the screen, outside of the stage. I don't want to. No, you must fly. So that's pretty much it. Like I don't mind the HP games. I don't mind those. But for Smash, I like having the variety, and I feel bad for whoever has to step up after Sakurai, because Sakurai gave us so much in these games. Like, bro, he gives you everything. You really don't need DLC the way Sakurai was giving us stuff. You don't need DLC because those games be packed out. Now, the only thing I would say, don't do no World of Light mess to me again, where I'm thinking I'm getting Nintendo's Infinity War and I got event matches.
That's basically what it was. Yeah, you just moved around on the map to do them.
Yeah.
That basically, you hear, instead of just having event mode, you just put it in that, and you just gave me. You pretty much did the ending to Infinity War at the beginning. That's pretty much what you did.
Yeah,
right.
That's what you did. I'm like, Sakurai went to go to the movies. That'd be interesting. Hey guys, y'all want to do that? That's pretty much what happened.
Throwing it up there. Let's go.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see him doing that too. That's the worst part.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, just don't do that.
It's gonna be so hard for Sakurai to be hands off with it, though. I think it's gonna be really difficult for him.
I think it's gonna be like a now new how Miyamoto is technically not involved in Zelda, but he is.
Yeah,
he's not, but he is.
He can't help it.
That's what I think is gonna be with Sakurai. They're gonna give it to a new team, and Sakurai just gonna be like, "Hey," he comes in and gives advice.
Changes like the whole project in like 1 second.
Right. Well, I'll just have him do all my testing because he was doing it anyway. I just let him test everybody.
That's what I would say he would probably be doing is just doing the game testing.
Yeah,
it's an interesting culture. Hopefully the new staff, like the Splatoon team and all those new guys, have the same dedication. But you can tell these guys, they literally live at work. Like, they just like let me catch a nap real quick, wake up, eat a banana, walk around. They're not going home.
Hey, look, the garage team was off the chain. You got to give garage team respect. Them boys off the chain because they make bangers.
Oh yeah, 100%.
They make bangers. So
that's why I was thinking about like some new spin on it because yes, I mean you got to make sure that it's familiar, but at the same way we got a refresh on Zelda, a refresh on Mario to an extent. Like you kind of have to change up the formula a little bit to where it's like, okay, we understand where this is going as far as the direction is concerned.
Well, I think that happens with the game modes though when it comes to Smash because you can just all you gotta do is just if you bring back target mode.
Yeah, true.
I like target mode.
And enhance it, and you like I said, do an actual story mode. You can still give us classic and stuff because that'll be your arcade style stuff where you go one at a time, whatever. But bring back an actual story mode, a la Suspect Emissary or something like that. You know. All right, Shadow. What?
I would say my one request would be, please find a way to incorporate, if you're the new Nintendo team, to incorporate the online lobby from ARMS. Just
the online was so good in ARMS. You're right, it was so good.
Yeah, I need that lobby system for every Nintendo game at this point.
Yeah, good rollback netcode, like like all the bells and whistles.
I need the volleyball game back from ARMS. Yeah, I remember the volleyball and basketball like halfway through the ADHD on that game was awesome.
That's what was so difficult. I was like, it's so hard to score.
You doing boxing matches, and your next round is volleyball. What in the world?
Yeah, so random. That game was so random, but it was it was really fun though. Honestly.
Yeah, that's why I wonder. They should because they did. They went over sales expectations. So I'm like, what are they gonna do for 2? Because I really want another one, but I kind of want an actual story mode in that one too.
Yeah,
and like
I agree. And I feel that game really needs it because the strong part of that game is the characters.
Yep.
So I feel you really have so much. You have so much like opportunity to flesh them out, and I feel like a story mode would really do that well. You know.
Yeah, Twintail copy.
I'm about to say they had a character. No, they tried to sell you
Twintail. Yeah, we need her.
They tried to sell you 2 characters, but then Twintail showed up and was like, "I stole the show." Like the 2 characters you put in our face, we didn't want. Like they're generic. They're generic characters.
It ended up being Twintail and Min Min.
I was gonna say Min Min, the ramen bowl stage. Come on,
that's the ramen bowl stage made no sense.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
If you really look at like all the lineups of like Nintendo's popular IPs, you're like, okay, I know who the face of that game is.
Yeah.
And then now, like I said, it was supposed to be the 2 main characters up front,
Ribbon Girl and Spring Man.
Spring Man. But it's not. Give us Twintail. Put her on the face next time. Get him up out of here.
Twintail definitely upstage.
Twintail upstage.
Look, it's because of how they presented her when they showed her off. That was what caught everybody.
Sorry, it was.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think it was Twintail and Min Min. They took over for sure.
Because Min Min just got popular just off the way she
which
played.
Was interesting because I was like, when they were talking about the votes, I'm like, oh, Twintail for sure, and then it was like, oh, Min Min won.
No,
I'm like, wow, okay,
Min Min won, but
Min
it wasn't about much though. It wasn't about much. It was Min Min and Twintail. That's what it was. It came down to them 2. Like
they need to be the main characters next time.
Yeah,
and the cover art. Yeah, the cover.
Yeah, so I would love ARMS 2, and to go back to something Andre said a couple years ago, Lil Mac needs to be in it.
Oh, yeah,
I know that was such a missed opportunity.
Put him
where
in.
He has like prosthetic arms.
He don't get the arms. He got to run up on you like Epo and try to do. Yeah,
that's such a disadvantage.
That's the point. But make him hit so hard that it's worth it.
But he can't be the only character that do that though, because I think at that point, if you're gonna do an ARMS 2, okay, some of y'all got the spring arms, some of y'all can get in close, some of y'all have something different, so that way you have variety as far as the characters are concerned. But like y'all were saying, it needs a story mode because this type of game doesn't go to an Evo, it doesn't go to anything that keeps it alive. because fighting games die quick.
Yeah, they
die. So
and to be fair, I think ARMS has such a variety of characters they could pull that off.
They could.
And next time y'all hit up Capcom, so you can go ahead and steal Necro and Dhalsim and throw them both in there.
Yeah, you see, y'all making the game for them at this point.
Yeah. All I want is a Twin Tail. All I want is a Twin Tail and Urbosa team up.
See,
now you
look
wrong.
at you.
What I
Look
said?
at you.
What I said? I ain't saying that wrong.
You
Sir, we know what you're aiming for.
Who won't be sitting there?
I am hurt that y'all think I would have ulterior motives.
Sir, you starting to look like the guy that be sweating on Facebook.
Oh,
Sir,
Now give him a 2-button situation and he got to choose.
Go ahead, nerds.
The Jordan Peele meme, right, where he's like sweating all over.
But honestly though, yeah, I would love to see like what they, because I'm pretty sure ARMS is getting a sequel. When they put out that graphic, they was talking about all the games that went over sales expectation. It was like Astral Chain, ARMS, Ultimate, Marvel Alliance Ultimate 3. That was
such a great drop.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm seeing because they don't cost much to make, and you can actually make a profit. Sony Concord.
Yo, I still got my controller.
Yeah, so I'm like, I'm interested in seeing what they are gonna do with that. Plus the fact that like we ain't seen no 3D, no sequels to no 3D Mario, and I'm sitting here like, wait a minute, that thing came out in 2017.
Yeah, I think 3D Mario is a lock.
They gonna hold that up. They gonna hold on to that.
Now,
they gonna hold that in the chamber.
Here's a question that will probably mess with some people. Do they do a Super Mario Maker 3D?
Have
Mario 64 levels.
Mario 64, Odyssey, Sunshine, Galaxy, all formats.
Here's the thing: did they piss enough people off to where Nintendo just says, "Here, y'all make it"?
Right.
Look, when it comes down to Sunshine, most definitely.
Yeah. Because I love watching the Honest trailer guy.
Yeah.
But when he did that Mario Maker 2 one, and he was like, from the people that said, "We're tired of hearing y'all complain. Y'all make it." That was fun. I think that's exactly what it felt like.
I mean, if it was ever going to happen, now that supposedly it's highly inferred that's going to have a mouse on it. Yeah. I mean, maybe it's like more open to a possibility now at this point.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of hard to do. Like
that'd be super
great 3D levels. I think they'll stick to 2D, but yeah, those 3D levels be kind of difficult.
Yeah, I mean you have to like maybe do like a 3D like customizer more than a builder, if that makes sense. Like you have like skeletons that you have to start with, and then you can kind of customize from there. Maybe something like
Halo's
that.
Forge.
Yeah, basically something like really simplified. You're just extruding already existing objects along to make new things.
Yeah. I mean, Mario Maker in and of itself is already pretty simple. It's just people make it complicated on themselves when they building them ridiculous levels.
Because they see these freaking speedrunners. That's what they want to do.
When they be making some of them levels in there, I was laughing because I'm like, bro, ain't no way you gonna survive this. Dude made this for you to die.
You're a normal player, you ain't gonna survive it. Nah.
And somebody beats it somehow.
Yeah. But they can only do it one time. They can't do it again. So I'm like, look,
all you need to one win is all you need to prove.
It's just funny, like seeing those levels and you like, bruh, some of y'all are diabolical.
They're insane.
I'm like, bro, I'm glad some of y'all are not game creators because ain't nobody passing these levels.
you got people that making levels coming straight off 100% in Celeste, and they're like, come on, we're gonna
let's do this.
We about to show you how real life is. That's rough.
Hold on, who's saying most Mario Maker 2 didn't sell?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that said
I'm ill-informed people.
They said it didn't sell, and then they don't like it better than they like Mario Maker.
Yeah, the first
and that was the one.
Well, because that had the Wii U gamepad.
Yeah,
it was so much.
So you would have to own a Wii U
like
to
it
even
as
make
much
that
as the other
statement.
one, but to say it didn't sell is a complete lie.
Yeah, that was a complete lie.
No, it's sold like what? On not, I don't think it was like a little under 3 million. I think. Right?
Yeah,
I think it was
it's
like
over
8.
No, it's over 8 now.
The Mario Maker 2?
Yeah, Mario Maker 2.
Oh, then that's super successful. What are you talking about?
They probably only had to sell 500,000 copies of that.
Well, and then the other thing too is with that game, the whole point of it is like it had such a longevity. You know what I mean? Like, and it kept getting the social media exposure, and that's the whole point.
And people are still uploading their levels.
Exactly.
So making worlds in that game.
Yeah. When they added the worlds feature, that was awesome because then people could build like complete games and stuff. So that was cool.
Yeah.
So and I'm pretty sure they're gonna do another one.
Especially if there's a mouse feature, why not?
Yeah. So now, do y'all think that's what the new IP was centered around? Because Nintendo's known to create a brand new IP each generation. So you think this one's going to be mouse centered?
What new IP could they make at this point, though?
Anything
they made a shooter.
Hold on.
They
Remember
made a
that
fighting
Met game? Remember that Met game for the Wii U that didn't quite become a Met game?
Project Robot, right? Project Robot.
You got controlling mice.
Yeah.
You can use that to control them. I've been saying it since I thought about it. Like the two controllers with the infrared on the bottom, use them both as mice, and you can control two sides of a mech very easily with that. It also has applications for doing table tennis, foosball, doing a pinball table. It just depends on what you want to set it up for. I could think of ideas for days for that.
But I was going the same route as Shadow, like looking at genres they haven't touched.
Yeah, exactly.
And honestly, the first genre that comes to mind is a first-person shooter because they went the third-person route with Splatoon. But outside of that, I can't even.
But they have to do it their way, and their way is going to be crazy.
Oh yeah, you're right. TG, it did become Giant Robo. I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
Which I think.
I'm trying to think what they would do with a first-person shooter though, because it would have to be
on the net.
It'd have to be something that would be specifically Nintendo, because like when you think about Splatoon is post-apocalyptic. It's just bright and colorful and cheerful.
I mean, that's Splatoon is if the world of Sunshine got consumed by the ink.
Yeah.
And the bloopers took over.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Metroid is an adventure game, so it's kind of it's Tomb Raider in first person basically, but
so you can't really go for that with the Prime series.
Yeah, it's gonna.
Well, it's probably be something that's a long dead franchise that we probably done forgot about that came out on the Super NES and
Kung Fu. Let's go.
Right, but they reinvented.
Kung Fu is my jam. Like,
exactly.
Go ahead and remake Hotel Mario.
Probably.
Okay, I'm gonna throw it out there. Nintendo Switch Online launch title to get people to subscribe. Mario Paint 2. I'm just throwing it out.
That's what everybody looking for. That's what everybody looking for.
That and the GameCube just opened the freaking GameCube.
GameCube Mario Paint. Sign me up.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be easy as custom Robo, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah, they're missing a full horror. So RJ, you're right. They're missing a full horror game.
I mean, look, we all know that we want another
Eternal Darkness.
Andre, you know what they could do? Remember when we came up with that idea for Zelda, the Shadow Temple horror game?
Oh yeah, they could do that.
They could do that, or
the
they
Shadow
could
Temple
do
and
the
the
one
Down the Well. Yeah, the one down the well. You can make both of them a horror game, like especially the Down the Well part where you can turn that into the like a Dead by Daylight situation.
But it can't be Link. It
can't be Link.
You gotta be some other random alien trying to find your way out.
Well, because in the N64 version, and if you played the game, you know there was a bunch of blood spots down the. Somebody died.
There's a lot of blood in that game.
Somebody died down there.
There was a lot of blood in that game.
ETF everybody.
A lot of blood in Ocarina of Time.
Like ETF everybody.
You just see it splattered on the ground, on the walls. I'm like,
there's a whole torture chamber in the Shadow Temple. Like, whoa, hey.
Like, what massacre happened in here?
Why y'all got an X in here with chains and blood from the ceiling? Okay.
What about like a Nintendo like dungeon crawler kind of game?
I mean, if they can bring back a Dragalia Lost and turn it into a full scale game.
Yeah, like something, but flesh it out and make it like more of like a Diablo style kind of thing. That'd be kind of cool.
That would, they'd be the ones to figure it out.
Yeah,
so. But then they inject that weird humor into it.
Exactly.
Sadness doesn't understand that all the girls are after him.
Yeah,
that's one thing they can do. They can make you a mascot. Like they can get a face to put out there. Because I mean, honestly, me personally, I don't know who you would throw as the face of Fire Emblem, but they still got it popular.
Marth is generally is the face.
Marth,
it's generally him, but Roy in
Roy's our boy.
Ike.
Roy's our boy.
Like
Marth, done Ike, Roy, Lindis.
Yeah, Lindis.
Crom.
They tried to make Crom.
They tried to make Crom.
Crom got overshadowed by his daughter.
Yeah, because that's what the whole joke of in that reveal trailer for Lucina was the fact that he got overshadowed. That was the whole joke. That was the entirety of the joke. So
it's like we wanted you to be the face, but she turned out being more popular.
I will.
Yeah,
sucks to be you.
I just need my boy DK to make it back to the top 3 because right now it's just Mario, Link, and Splatoon at this point. So
Seth Rogen has helped. So
he does. I mean, he has. It's just now they got to flesh the game out.
Actually, now you mentioned Donkey Kong, and we already talked about ours, but I do still want a Punch Out. But I want Donkey Kong to be one of the people you fight.
Like a special character?
The DK get with them hard knockout blows with them gigantic fists.
Oh, yeah.
So
you got to avoid.
What if Arms is the replacement of Punch Out?
Arms is not the replacement.
I'm saying, what if it's the replacement?
It ain't the replacement.
You can take all those characters and put them over there because with your same idea, your same premise, it's like, hey, you got to get in tight like Tyson, but your hits hit like for those characters.
The only problem with that is there's too many characters like that.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what you need Punch Out to be its own separate thing.
Yeah. And I need the weird boxes in Punch Out. I need weirdness. I need Don Flamenco thinking he a pimp and his hairpiece fall out when you beat him. I need Von Kaiser. I need Von Kaiser to think he that dude and the kids punch him in the stomach and he fall over.
Hey, you want them weird characters? They can go and get One Piece characters for Arms. Get Luffy.
They could
put him in the game.
Go ahead and get Luffy and what's that dude that had the power that was similar to him? The one with the teeth.
Yeah, because he had the Mochi.
Yeah.
One? Yeah. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I can't remember his name. I know what he looked like. I just can't remember his name.
That dude was weird. But all right, peeps, that's gonna do it for this episode. I hope everybody had a good time. Thank you, chat, as always, for stopping through for us and keeping everything lively. Thank you, VG. Thank you, Vicky, for coming through. We do appreciate it. So, you know what, Vicky? Anything you got to pimp out?
Sure. BIPOC Streamer Wars nominations start March 1st, so be on the lookout. Rally your community to vote for you and nominate you. BIPOC Streamer Wars Raid Train starts tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It ends at 8 p.m. on the BIPOC Streamer Awards channel. So just check our socials to see the lineup of all the amazing creators that will be there.
All right. Sandstorm, what about you? What you got?
Yesterday we talked more about the Switch and the Switch 2. Very interesting conversation. We had a lot to talk about as far as games and double standards because that's a whole thing. So if you didn't get the opportunity or the chance to check that out, make sure you guys go ahead and check that out. Great conversations that we had. Other than that, make sure you follow everybody, including Vicky and VG. Got a stream tomorrow with Terminator Juice and that crew. So come on and check it out because I was right with them and the reveal being on the 16th. I ain't never gonna let that go because T never lets it go when I'm wrong. So Yeah.
All right, Andre, what you got?
I mean, you just check my channel out for a bunch of random stuff, but and your kids laughing. But I do have a stream where I talked about the Switch 2 reveal, which apparently everybody liked so far. Yeah. And then there's the second episode of Pick Your Poison, which was Mass Effect and Star Wars KOTOR, if anybody wants to listen in on that.
Okay. All right. Shadow.
Channel's not dead. Just did a podcast earlier today. It was an impromptu one. The rest will be on Fridays. Time yet to be determined. But the Shadowcasts are back. So they'll be back on Fridays, and I'll do videos in between here and there. It was interesting today because it was Nintendo is officially starting the 10th generation. It's just funny that people won't accept that, because I got a guy right now that's using Rob Arula to Review's video.
Oh no, not Rob.
To prove his point. And I'm like, me and him go way back, right?
Don't do Rob like that. Can't go support you.
I don't know how long I've been around, but it's just funny. It's funny seeing that kind of stuff. But yeah, Shadowcast is good. So tune in for those. You'll see more. Also subscribe to everybody here.
Yeah. All right, VG.
Yeah, what's going on? Switch 2 is here. I'm sure the content's going to be coming back, switching up. And then Master Sword music. We got a lot of stuff dropping. Action Jack coming through. We're going to be doing a lot of freestyles and just some really good stuff coming. So stay tuned. It's going to be awesome. Follow me at VG Mobster. I interact with all these guys anyway, so it's all a good time.
Yep. All right, Jack.
Gaming front, dropped the video not too long ago. It's kind of going over the nonsense in the communication around the Switch 2. So that's going to always be a reoccurring thing. I plan to do another video when we go over the Xbox presentation on the 23rd, because ironically, out of the clear blue sky, we are now hearing PS6 rumors out of nowhere. So
how did that happen?
I wonder what sparked that.
Hey, Nintendo, you drop, we drop.
I told you. Showing off, midnight color PS portals and all that stuff. So yeah, but doing more videos on that. And as I've stated before, I'll start doing my actual live stream on Thursday starting next month. Partner with actual news segment as well, which is centered around games, but then also comedy as well, to kind of speak on those games. And then on the music side, like VG said, for MSM, I mean, it's a lot of music coming through. TJ just dropped his album on the 10th. I have mine coming up pretty soon. I'm actually starting on my next album past this album already. But then also having more titles and albums and music and freestyles and the whole 9 yards for the crew, just to kind of keep us rocking and keeping the page going. And we got a lot of talent over there. So as always, just continue to check us out on all streaming devices. And just follow everybody here, and just continue to show love, and we appreciate the support on all fronts, man.
All right. So Tales of Graces Alpha Remastered. If you have not had a chance to, I'll put some gameplay up first 40 minutes. So check that out. It is now up for everybody and available on all platforms. So check that out. It's actually one of my favorite Tales of games. Is Symphonia, that one, and Vesperia are my favorites. I'm a nerd.
How long is each game, you think? Like, how long is the ETA on each game?
Those games,
it's between like 40 and 60.
Oh, okay. Right,
it's not bad. Now if you go and try to like do every
side quest
and stuff, you can easily get to like 80 to 100. But you can
heart conversations.
Yeah, but you can easily finish the game in like 40 to 55.
That's not too bad for
no, it's not. It's not like it is now, where every RPG is 100+ hours. It ain't like that.
Rebirth.
No. Yeah. So when it should,
don't even get me started.
Yeah, but put the intro of the game up on the page. I'm probably gonna be doing some more gameplay of some other stuff. I was supposed to do a live stream yesterday and went to sleep, so I do apologize. So I went straight to sleep and woke up like, I'm not doing this. So I will try to do that. Yeah, I will try to do something this week for that. Probably gonna be on my PS4 doing that because probably play Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. Game's not bad, so I'll probably do that. But I'll let you guys know. Check out the Discord and check out Twitter and Blue Sky. I'm on those, so when you now let you guys know there when I plan to go live. But thanks so much again. We'll see you guys next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace out, people. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your evening. Go Ravens.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.